It is 6:30, and I am calling the Chartered Township of Plainfield Planning Commission to order. First on our agenda is approval of the meeting minutes. Any changes? Anything to add to it, Peter? Elizabeth?
Nothing to add.
You can meddle in this, Bill, and give me something?
I'm just gonna supervise for right now to bring this up.
Okay, thank God. We have. All right. All those in favor, please, of approving the agenda, please signify by.
I'll move.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Now, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same
I'm
sign.
not the only one.
No, it was just me.
We're off to a good start.
I know, I'm sorry. Next is public comments. Anybody want to make any public comments? Come on up. No?
We're on the
Nope,
meeting
nope, the
minutes.
minutes. Hold on, no, hold on.
Wait,
Hold
wait.
on 1 second.
I have screwed up. Approve the October 11, 2023 Planning Commission meeting minutes. And I'll take a motion.
So move.
Thank you, Robin, and thank you, Jim, for support. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Thank you, it has passed. Now, public comments. Come on up, sir. Would you use the podium, please? We'll make sure the microphone is on. Is mine on? It doesn't sound like it. I guess it is, yeah.
Thank you. So, again, my name's Tim Mulder. I live on Quetzal Court over kind of by the senior center. Been there for 41 years. So first of all, I want to talk about, I attended the October meeting. Got to meet most of you. I was impressed with the collaboration and the civil discussion amongst the members, and including planning. One thing, as I sat there, and I didn't speak up because I didn't think it was appropriate while you were going through it, and I believe when I look at the master plan, I believe the intent is there. So this could be a reminder to you, but as I think about the use of natural resources, kind of more of the integration, especially around the water. I look at some of the other areas, 80 in particular, they've spent years and millions of dollars trying to reclaim back where the river runs through town. Used to be the back of a shopping mall. No appreciation for it by the businesses there. And if it's within your scope, I'd really like you to consider that as you look at further developments. I look at Northland between Plainfield and Plainfield and the river. You know, SCORE on the west has an appreciation for the water there. Blue Water on the east has an appreciation for the water there. The dive shop has a really functional application for the water there, but pretty much unappreciated by all the other businesses there. And when I say unappreciated, they don't use it to help their business. It's kind of, it's the back door. So just if you could consider that as you look at the other water in the area. And then, you know, and again, you know, there's some, you mentioned that in goals 2 and 5 in the master plan about the water and protecting the resource, but also I think there's an opportunity there for the township, if you just look at the property adjacent in a likewise manner. And then also I want to talk a little bit about Palenque Place again. As I look through the business plan or the master plan update, you know, on a high level, that project aligns with what you see in the master plan. Goal 15A in particular, about diverse housing. But you take it down a little bit and a little more granular, you know, some of the other things, you know, I'm not sure it's a good fit for that property. It's a unique property. In the goals, 16A, B, and C, also under people and housing in regards to preserving the neighborhood and the community. Again, you know, I'm eager to see the presentation on the 12th. Hopefully I can learn more about that. But also when I look at the goals in the master plan, compared to the preliminary, and I get it was just a preliminary concept presentation. You know, the traffic and transportation, there's a lot of goals there, or there's some things there, I think, in their concept that are missing to support that. In particular, Goal 7A, utilities and public service, Goals 10A, B, and C in regards to stormwater management. And again, I'll just reiterate, you know, at the bottom of Palenque there, where there's kind of drops down right before it gets to Grand River, heavy rains, we already get pooling water there. And then, you know, traffic and transportation, probably one of the biggest concerns are sidewalks. You know, you hear in the master plan a couple times, you hear it under Thrive and under one of the goals, walkable. Unless you tear down the hill, that might not be totally achievable, but it's certainly not achievable if you look at the master plan and there's no sidewalks or no pathways or anything there. And then also sustainability. I don't see, you know, part of it's the drain water stuff, but also I don't know that the concept as they presented it is a good fit under or matches up to sustainability. And again, I'm going off a little drawing and I'm going off a little description from the preliminary, but those are all questions I have and I have a large number more, but those are the ones that are in relationship to the master plan, which is on the agenda. And I hope to learn more about that. Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else wishing to make a comment? All right, I'll close that portion of the meeting and we'll head towards agenda items. First is the rezone of 1855 4 Mile Road. That is a public hearing. And Brian, would you read that application, please?
Project name is 1855 4 Mile Road Northeast rezone. Applicant is the owner, Sam Collier. Project address, 1855 4 Mile Road Northeast. Permanent parcel number 411033376008. Size of site approximately 2.35 acres. Zoning currently O office. Zoning proposed R1A residential. And public hearing is required and scheduled for this meeting. Project description and action requested of the Planning Commission to provide a favorable recommendation to the Township Board for the rezone of 1855 4 Mile Road Northeast from O office to R1A residential.
Thank you. Before I turn over to opening up for the public hearing, Elizabeth, is there anything you want to add?
Sure, I can kind of go over things before the public hearing. Just to let you know, the applicant is not here today. I told him that I could take care of this from a staff perspective because it's kind of a cleanup item anyway. So would you like me to go over kind of staff report now or wait until after the public hearing?
Public hearing, I mean, before the public hearing, so if anybody does have questions, they've been briefed as we have.
Got it. Okay. So the parcel in question here is just north of 4 Mile, or north of 4 Mile, just to the east of the Progressive AE office here. It's on the edge of a few older single-family homes and on the edge of all those older plats, the Ivy and Vineyard streets. All older R1A zoned plats. And looking through the history of the zoning on this piece, we've kind of come to the conclusion that it was zoned office in somewhat of an error. Zoning used to be done not by the parcel layer, but by general kind of, this area should be office. And the single-family home there has been in existence, operating as a single-family home since it was rezoned 20 years ago, and there's been no interest in having a commercial office in that location. So to help the owner applicants out with their lending, we think it makes sense to rezone that piece back to R1A residential, since that's the likely future use of that piece. It is encumbered with a pond, wetland areas that makes it, the further development, highly unlikely. So that's what I got. If you have any questions, let me know.
Okay, thanks. I will open it up at this time for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to say anything, come on up to the podium, give us your name and address and your comments. So, no pressure. keep looking at that fellow in the back, I'm sorry. We'll close that portion of it, turn it over to the commissioners up here. And Nancy, do you have any questions or comments?
Nope.
Robin?
I do not.
Dennis?
I do not, no.
Brian?
There is no current plans if we rezone this. He doesn't have something in mind today. It's just sort of for future planning, is that correct?
Yeah, he would like to use the home as a single-family home.
Okay,
Yeah, just,
but no plans to redevelop or do anything major?
no.
Okay.
No.
And it looks like most of it is that water, or is that, so,
Yeah,
a
that's,
pond?
it is a pond, yep.
That's all I have.
Jim, anything?
Nothing here.
My understanding is that oftentimes they have trouble refinancing if it's not zoned appropriately.
That's exactly what's happening, yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the sale of it, but yeah.
Okay, that's all the questions I have. We need to do some findings of facts, and Brian, can you read those, please?
Hold on. Let me find them first here a second. No, I've got them.
Oh, that's the, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so do we need to go through all these? Do they need to be read into the record? The zoning text,
Well,
the
fi-
criteria one?
No, not the
Okay.
criteria, just
Okay.
the findings
Okay.
of fact,
fact,
yeah.
down at the
Okay.
bottom. 1 through 6.
Okay, so yeah, if we, findings of fact, one, the proposed rezoning is consistent with the township's reimagined Plainfield plan and with existing land use patterns. Two, the proposed rezoning is adaptive to changing conditions in the area. Three, the proposed rezoning is compatible with the existing land use patterns in the area. Four, the site can be adequately served by public utilities. Five, the rezoning does not represent spot zoning. And six, the proposed rezoning is further supported for those reasons set forth by members of the Planning Commission staff and applicants as reflected in the entire meeting record in this matter.
Any discussion on these findings of facts? I'll take a motion at this time.
Okay, I move that the planning commission will recommend the township board approve the ordinance to amend to rezone 1855 4 Mile Road Northeast from O office to R1A residential based on the following findings of fact as stipulated.
And do I have support for that?
I would support that.
Thank you. That was Jim's motion and Brian's support. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, that's all set. Thank you. Next is the zoning ordinance amendments, public hearing. And I think, Elizabeth, that's your project too?
Yeah, Pete and I both worked on this one, so I'll go over things, and if you have any specific questions, Pete and I can tackle them.
Oh,
We,
do you have an application for that? I don't think we do.
Not have an formal application
No.
for that, so.
That's
yeah, 'cause it's
okay.
just staff-led, yeah. So we are proposing a few more zoning text amendments. The first one being a slight reduction in size of the rural estate zoning district. At some point, it was 40,000 square feet. It got bumped up to 60,000 square feet. And now we're recommending that it go back to 5,600 square feet, which is exactly an acre. Still very, large lot residential zoning, but this just brings it back in alignment with original development patterns. The slightly smaller square footage and lot width also makes better use of the utility extensions that were done, and helps preserve some natural features with slightly smaller lot sizes. So that was the thought with the real estate text amendments. The next one we worked on was the mixed-use zoning district, the required build line. We added some discretionary language in there for staff to allow for situations like the Blue Water Grill to add on to the back of their building to take advantage of those water resources. kind of like what was spoke about during the public hearing. Right now, the way that the ordinance is written, they would have, if they wanted to add on to their building, they would have to add on to the front. So we're giving us some leeway to approve additions to buildings in that zoning district if they take advantage of natural features. The other one is a sign chapter amendment, going back to the original regulation of 10% of the wall face area for wall signs. It works out to be roughly the same as what we have now. It's just an ease of administration thing. That's what we've done for years and years, and it doesn't make that much of a difference. So I'd like to go back to that. Do you have anything to add, Pete?
Just to go back on that 60,000 square foot, there was a clause in the ordinance for the last 20 years that allowed one lot to be created out of every parcel that existed in 1997 to be 40,000 square feet, and every other lot had to be 60,000 square feet. It is a technical issue, a challenge for us when we do with land divisions and such, and so administratively, it's just much more easy for us to administer if we have one consistent lot size all the way through the rural estate zone district. In regards to the RBL, there are some other odd circumstances we tried to build in there. In particular, we have some lots that have frontages on both Plainfield and, let's say, Coit, or Jupiter and Plainfield, and how we interpret that RBL front setback and stuff. And it's a little too literal, what we have currently, so we needed a little flexibility built in there. And I think we knew that when we were going through the planning process, that we'd have challenges with that. And so we've just put something in there to address that. It'll be a little bit more flexible for redevelopment on Plainfield. That's all I have to add.
Bill, do you want to add anything? Okay, I'll come up here. Jim, any questions, comments?
No questions, just want to thank the staff that worked for periodic review and update of the zoning ordinance. Nothing should be locked in stone, and at least once a year, us taking a peek at it is a good idea, and thank you for your efforts.
Thank you, Brian.
No comments or questions.
Robin?
I have no comments after review.
Dennis?
Nope, makes sense to me.
Nancy?
Questions or comments for me?
Okay, I don't have any. Do we have any? No, we don't have any conditions or anything, so this time I'll take a motion.
I move that the Planning Commission recommend the Township Board approves the ordinance to amend for the proposed text amendments.
Support?
Support.
Thank you, Nancy. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, great, thank you. And now, master plan update workshop. And you want us to move, don't you?
Yeah.
You're asking an awful lot.